What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you're amazing. So today we are going to go through 10 things that every small business should be doing on social media. I'm going to start from 10, go all the way through to 1. If you're a small business and you consider social media to be a valuable part of your business, you're going to love this video. Roll the intro. Okay, so if you're brand new to this channel, we talk all things bringing out the very best in you in life, in business, in your marketing. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button to see more of videos like this. So starting at number 10, it's having an incredible offer that wows people, okay? So this comes back to being a specialist rather than a generalist. And when I say being a specialist, rather than say me being a videographer, I offer a service where we create 6 months worth of video content for YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and have it all filmed in 2 days. Now, I actually did a video on this, on how to beat your competition or how to make your competition irrelevant, talking exactly about this specialist versus generalist. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already done so. Number 9, convert your profile into a landing page. Now, this is important because as we go through the list, you'll hear a couple of me talk about a few things that are going to make sense, bringing it back to this point. But the long and short of it is you should be treating your profile almost as a resume, almost as a CV for your next client, okay? So having a professional photo, having potentially a header that explains what you do and or the result that you get and or the special offer or the wow offer that you give to your clients. Number 8, document your personal learnings along the way. So this involves taking, photos and snaps and sharing insights about your personal journey, your business journey. This may be when you've won an award. This may be when you've read a really good book that's helped you realize a few things. This may be a really big win that you've had with one of your clients. Document your journey. People underestimate the effectiveness that sharing a story has. But keep in mind, as humans, we love the hero's journey. We love watching and hearing about stories about people who go from zero to hero. And I'm not talking about over glorifying yourself. I'm talking about sharing little insights along the way that feel right and feel authentic to you, and know that not only has this helped you, you've had this realization, that this realization could also help others. Documenting these little pieces along the way is going to really help you to connect with other like-minded people as well. Number 7, take an active part in niche-related communities and or groups. And so what I mean by this is Facebook groups is probably the best example of this. So finding Facebook groups with potential clients and or new customers that you can go and actively take a part in, actively comment and question, also provide the offer or provide the valuable opportunity that you potentially have. Now, please keep in mind, like anything, people like people who they know, like, and trust. And for that reason, you've got to be in it to win relationships. You've got to be in it to build relationships and things like that. This also works with hashtags as well. So if you are searching for a particular hashtag that's related to your niche or related to what it is that you're doing, what you can potentially find is by, actively taking part in these hashtags, whether it's commenting or liking or just simply getting to know the people behind these hashtags. It's one way to be actively involved in that community. And the more that you can be actively involved in that community, not only are you stepping forward as a leader potentially in your industry, adding your 2 cents, actively adding value anywhere you can go. Number 6, plan and stick to creating a weekly piece of content. Now, for me, I create a weekly YouTube video, and from these YouTube videos, I do create other pieces. This consistency of creating a piece of content and sticking to the plan is not only going to help you create a routine and see this as an important functionality of your business, but it's also going to have you think and look for ideas, think and look for value that, oh, my clients asked about this. Maybe this is something that I can talk about online, and maybe this is something that I can share that would add value and help to build trust, not only with me as a brand, me as an expert, but also just add value in general. Number 5, give little glimpses behind the scenes of what you do. Now, depending on what it is that you do and what industry you're in, will all depend on what privacy and confidentiality you may have. But for other people, this is an open ticket to sharing and giving insights into the people you work with. I know for me, this is one of the best ways that I like to get out my Facebook and Instagram stories, share what's going on behind the scenes when we're filming and everything else, sharing a little bit of an insight into who we're working with today, sharing a little bit of an insight into what's happening, and potentially something that we're overcoming as we go. Again, coming back to the hero story, sharing those insights and sharing the little pieces along the way helps people to just actively take part in your story and have people actively ask about what's going on in your world as well. It's a very important part. Number 4, consistently create opportunities to give value in exchange for an email address. Okay, and so what I'm talking about is growing an email list, but you have to give enormous value in order to convince someone to hand over their email address. For someone who's potentially your ideal client, that email address is them knowing that they're potentially going to sign up to some sort of marketing and or some sort of thing that you have planned. Now, if your intention is to just consistently hit this person until they're sold, that's not the right way to go about it. What you need to think about is, how can I nurture this relationship and add so much value to this person that I can enrich their life with the product and or service that I have. Now, they may not understand the value that it can bring to them. You may know that, but they may not. And it's simply a way of educating through value. If someone feels like they can trust you with their information, with their personal details, they would love to hear from you, and they will continue to open your emails and continue to read your messages and continue to watch your videos if they trust you, if you build a really good reputation on someone who adds value first. Number 3, collaborate with people you have an energetic match to. Now, that last part of the sentence is probably the most important part, and here's why. I personally made the mistake where I was looking to interview people who were really great, really good at what they do, and potentially they're experts of their industry, but I really struggled to relate to them because I either just didn't get on with them, I didn't see eye to eye on, certain things. And for that reason, whilst some of the stuff was valuable, I didn't bring my A game to the interviews or to what we were doing. Now, the way that I see it is no matter what accolades someone has, no matter what, trophies or awards or whatever the case is, I love to collaborate with people who are really good fucking people, who give genuine value and have similar morals and values that I do. And because I choose to collaborate with these people, that then allows me to bring my absolute A game. It allows them to trust to bring their absolute A game. And I can promise you, no matter how big the expert is, no matter how much, how big their network is or whatever the case is, if you consistently collaborate with people you have an energetic match to, it will matter more in the long run than the short-term bits and pieces that some big influencer or someone big in your market can bring. Number 2, create and take part in conversation. So this includes polls, groups, and other things. Now, similar to point 7 where I talked about communities and niches, this is you actually creating a conversation rather than going to these groups and communities and then, commenting on everyone else's. This is actually you creating a conversation. So this may be as simple as creating a poll. And your poll, like what your poll might be, is something along the lines of, what do you prefer? And it may be a question relating to your business. It may not be, but The thing is, when you're the one creating the conversations, you're the one who then has the ability to lead and guide where that conversation goes. When someone else is driving the conversation, they then have the power to drive it where they need to. When you're driving a conversation, you then have the leverage to be able to ask questions, take it in different directions, and also go further down the rabbit hole, whichever direction you choose to go. That leverage, that power is significant, especially when you're running a business, especially when you're trying to position yourself as the go-to person, as the expert, or whatever it is for you. But creating those conversations is going to be a valuable piece to your social media presence. And last but not least, number one, and probably the most important factor of any social media presence or anything you do online, is maintain consistency. Okay, now this should just go without having to be said, but I think it's a timely reminder that consistency builds momentum. Momentum compounds results, okay? And when you think about slowly doing something over a course of a period of time and slowly compounding those results then compound into big, large groups, large followings, large subscribers, whatever the case is. And what those things are is effectively leverage. Leverage over a market, leverage over people's attention, people's opinions, things like that. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'd love to know, from your perspective, what was the most valuable topic or what was the most valuable point that you took from this video? Make sure you leave a comment below. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this one. I'm going to love you and leave you. Go get it.